Hey, Shalom, Shalom. This is Maf Yasharallah Banaparium. This is Maf Shana Israel Shana Ephraim. Before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honors to my power, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Bahashir Kakadash. Shalom to Akim Agwath and Abayim. That's tuning into this video. That's peace to the brothers, sisters, and children that's tuning into this video. Let's hop into it, if you know you're able to catch a lesson with me, the camp with me, the brother Sakar and the brother Sakalal last night, you'll see that we talked about how this really is a love letter to us. It's addressed to the 12 tribes, and it's a love letter to us, right? Now, like being in school when we're in English class, and we read poems and we go over comprehension. Some people can get it, some people don't. Some people got the spirit, and some people don't. So if you got that spirit to understand, look, it's a beautiful thing. You understand this love letter. This love letter is written to you. You know what I'm saying? So let's start the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 13. Happy is a man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. So finding wisdom, coming upon this word, and able to understand it, and get understanding through the precepts, and have understanding. That's beautiful. It's a love letter. You sit here, you actually understand that what the Lord is telling us and conveying to us, right? The ups and downs, because if you are in love with your partner, you're gonna have an up and down. Because the book is not just all happiness. The book is full of woe and lamentation. It is. We gotta be real. We gotta be honest. Because if you're not honest about it, you're not in the right spirit. But it is overall a love letter to us, to the tribes of Israel, right? Let's talk about how it is. The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of a house of Yasharallah of Israel. He's only sent to us, so called African Americans, so called Native Americans, so called Hispanics, right? It's beautiful because those people, those three demographics in this world, you look at them like we realistically to other people we're worms. We're not really worth shit to nobody. We're barely worth shit to our own people, right? But to know who we are, worth something to the Lord, Yahweh wa Yahweh Shah, and that's beautiful. So off rip, he addresses us in this love letter, right? Amos 3:12. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. So let's tackle this first half right here. All these nations, all these different kind of people. He's addressing us again, so-called African Americans, so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans. That's who he's addressing. Say, yo, this love letter is for you. I'm writing this letter to you. I want you to read this. So it's gonna lead your way and know that I'm here for you, right? And what I will do to you if you go off. Therefore, I will punish you for your iniquities. Because we're family. We're really his kin. Your dad not going to beat your homie ass because he failed a test. Now, obviously, unless y'all like super close, but like that's just not how that typically go. You fail a test, you go back home and your mama on you, yelling at you, and you say, "Well, everybody failed." She gonna say, "I don't care. They're not my kids," because that's how that is, right? You care for your own. You address your own. The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For Ha'adam Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob. You know, when they say Jacob, that's really going to the 12 tribes, right? But he chose to have mercy on Jacob. You know, the precept says, I will have mercy for whom I have mercy on. And I will, matter of fact, this is going to bring it out. And will yet choose Yashar Allah. He will choose us, the 12 tribes, right? And set there in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. He said he's going to choose us forever. That's what it is. Now, obviously, we are in this low spot right now, and I'll end up touching on that later in this lesson. But he said he's going to choose us. But when he says he will have mercy on Jacob, let's pull up that precept. Romans 9:15, and it reads, For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. Now, obviously, this is pertaining to like talking about a person, but that goes for everybody. He has mercy for who he has mercy on. He has mercy on Jacob. He has mercy on you for being able to understand and digest this word and understand and get understanding from it. That's the most. That's the biggest. I want to say that's like That's the biggest act of mercy from Yahweh Yahushua, is allowing you to have this understanding and be able to digest and understand what this Bible is saying, because it's beautiful. Everyone can't get this love letter. A lot of people get their hands on it, but a lot of people can't comprehend what's going on. That's love. Yahweh Yahushua, that's love, that's mercy, that's allowing us to understand what's going on, man. A lot of people are lost as hell, bugged out. The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6, and it reads, "You are sold to the nations not for your destruction." So even after, matter of fact, let's just finish this precept off, and then we'll read it, Slakia. Starting at book Baruch 4, verse 6, "You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you have moved the power to wrath, you were delivered unto your enemies." Now you read that, you was like, man, that's not love. I mean, how is that love? That's love because the Lord didn't do away with us. He said, "Not for your destruction." The Lord could go. The Lord could have. There's a precept that goes into the fact that it made him sad that we were going off like this, and he wanted to do us how he did Sodom and Gomorrah, but he knew that he made that promise to David, so he wasn't going to do that. That's mercy. That's love. The Lord really could have done away with us. It would have been runts. It would have been over. There would be no conversation about this anymore. So although we went off and our ancient fathers were out here worshiping a goddamn golden calf and so on and so on, you know, a whole bunch of other abominable acts of transgressions that they have committed, or even the people today have done. The Lord is still not going away with us. Now, obviously, He has a select few, the elect, the Israel of Ha'adamah Yahweh, but still, He hasn't done away with us. And this right here is proving that point. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 47. Let's go down to verse 22. "But Ha'adamah will never leave off His mercy, neither shall any of His works perish, neither will He abolish the prosperity of His elect." That's like we were just talking about, right? That seed of David. He's never going to do away with it. Although all these people have messed it up and it was going off, He has not done away with it, because that's real love. And also because He's a man of His word. He says He's not a man that shall lie. He's not a man that will repent. And the seed of Him that loveth Him, He will not take away. Wherefore He gave a remnant unto Jacob, and out of him a root unto David. That's love. This letter of love to the elect, showing that, yo, we up next, forever and evermore. All these elements and these ups and downs that you face will be no more. That we're here for you, that He's here for us, saying that He's merciful. He says that He's give us a mind of a sound and a sound mind of a. The Lord's not giving the spirit of fear, but of a sound mind. And I forgot how the rest of the precept goes, but essentially saying that, you know, all the stuff that He's done for us. He saved us out of Egypt. He says soon we'll be talking about, the precept says soon they're not going to talk about the Lord that got us out of Egypt, but how He got them out the land of the north. That's a love letter saying, yo, I'm here for you. Now, even though you fucking up, I'm not gonna do away with you. I'm gonna continue to be with you. And and then obviously that's the elect, and everyone will come through the elect's loins. But that's love, man. That's real love. So our people really destroyed. The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Thou hast rejected knowledge, so I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, and I will also forget thy children." So that, doubling back to what we just said, the past two precepts, saying how He's not going to do away with the prosperity of the elect. But the majority of our people are cooked. They don't have understanding. They don't know what's going on. They don't got a clue in the world. A lot of people open up this love letter and read it and come to a whole different conclusion. And just be completely off, because the Lord hasn't given that, endowed that spirit onto them. And because that love letter isn't addressed to that person. You might be an Israelite, but if you're a 2/3, this love letter not addressed to you until you come back to the righteous loins in the kingdom. You're not going. If you write a love letter, you're gonna hand it out to everybody. No, you're gonna hand it out to the person you love. And this is what the Lord is doing. The book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3. "The ox knows his owner, and his ass his master crib. But Yashar Allah doth not know. My people does not consider." So Him breaking it down and saying what He's done for us and what He will do for us, giving us, like your pop will give you game how to be a righteous man in the eyes of Him. A lot of these people have no knowledge for it, don't really care for it, they don't consider, and still he's still here for those people. The 2/3 outweigh the 1/3 by a lot, a large margin. But the Lord is still keeping His promise because that's real love, that's real mercy, for real. You gotta understand that. After all that, the book is 1 Samuel chapter 12 verse 22. For how Adonai Yahweh will not forsake His people, for His great name's sake, because it has pleased how Adonai Yahweh to make you His people. He's pleased for us to be His people. After all our people do what we do, our people is one of the most between those the so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans. Out of those three, they're all bugged out. You know, the precept says there's no sound from the from the from the root to the top of the head. Now I don't know. I mean, it's like I probably paraphrased it wrong, a rough paraphrase, but essentially saying there's no sound in none of this in none of the tribes, and it still says here double down on that again. 1 Samuel chapter 12 verse 22. For how Adonai Yahweh will not forsake His people. He says He's not going to forsake His people. He's going to keep that promise. He's going to keep that promise, right? For His great name's sake, because it has pleased Adonai Yahweh to make you His people, man. That's love. And it's nothing but Him showing love through this whole Bible, man. You know, with obviously with woe and lamentation, but that's encompassing love, bro. When you got love, you're gonna have up and down with your partner. It's what it is. That's real love. So if you have understanding of this word, you got to give our praises and thank the Lord. You got the water Yahweh Yahweh Shai, because He's giving you a chance. He giving you a fighter chance. He gave you mercy. So out of our desires, lesson was edifying and able to give you peace. And you know, we got to give all praise and honor by power Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadah, Shalom to the Akim Magwaf and the Abundance to this video. That is peace to the brothers, sisters, and children to this video. Shalom.